Hi, everybody. I'm Doug.
I'm Brynna.
And this is the recap for week 2 of shaping at Technical on October 2019, Wednesday Night Hop. So the theme for this week was levels, highs and lows. So we played around with a couple of dances, and then we went into some specific material. We'll just jump into the specific material. So the first thing was boom, ba, boom, ba, ba-doo, ba, boom, ba, shoo-wah.
Yeah. So Shorty Georges
Ha.
in various places. We talked about basically being flexible about where you start it, but starting it clearly. And one of the ways we can do that is by taking this breath ahead of time. So making eye contact with our partner and going down, right? So you have that level change there. You can also level change throughout your Shorty Georges. Get really low, then get higher.
Yeah. So the sort of baseline way we're starting a Shorty George is with a kick, ball, walk, walk, walk. And Brynna had this great thing about we're walking sort of on a tightrope, so your feet stay really close together, walking along the same lines. And then we can either create that sideways motion through our knees or through our hips, which is nice, particularly if you have any knee issues, thinking about sort of pushing your hips side to side to create that nice Shorty George type motion.
Yeah, and so you can start it on the 8 or the 1, anything along those lines, and you can end it anytime you want as well. So one way, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Do. Da. So the big thing for this, leaders, is if I feel my partner start a shorty, I really like to go into some kind of extended pass by or walking move so they have a chance to really own it for like 4 or 5 steps. And then there's often a natural point where one person turns, you re-engage with each other, making that eye contact helps, and you find that next rock step.
Yeah.
We talked about for leaders, a nice thing to do is if you feel your partner doing this, you can chase them doing the same thing. Hoop ba doo 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 doo. Wow. I don't know if we were in camera that whole time, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to let go and break away as well. You can always connect back up.
Yeah. So that was our first thing. We already mentioned you can go low or high, and a really nice way to do this is to start with a high and then drop low. So leaders, particularly, but really both people, we talked about taking our triple step out and putting a step in as a way to play around with levels. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Ha, hoo. It can be difficult to get real low in a triple step, so we can simulate that feeling, particularly at the end of a move, the 5, 6 or the 7, 8, to drop into that right foot and really let our body drop down. This is sort of like the feeling of a fishtail, if you've ever done that.
Yeah, and followers, something we can do to help our leaders with that is when they're getting low, matching what we feel in their arm. And so that way Doug is able to get as low as he wants. Versus if I feel a slight bit of awareness and I go toward him, then he has to really compensate and go forward to make sure he doesn't fall over.
Boom. Shoo. And then for leaders, we really wanted to emphasize whether we're asking for that feeling from our partners or trying to keep the lead roughly exactly the same as it would be for a normal pass by, and that neither of those is right or wrong. It's just that you really want to be aware of those, right? If you're doing this thing for yourself and you're wanting to keep a really consistent experience for your partner, or if you want your partner to feel all the pieces of this and respond to that.
Yeah, and then the last thing we did was a tuck turn with a windmill.
Yeah. It has a name now. Do-da-da, shoo-wah, hoo-wah. Ba, do-da-da, do-da-da. So 1, 2. Hoo-ba-da. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hoo-wah, shoo. Boo, boo. So this starts out like a regular tuck turn on 1, 2, 3, 4. We release. It's an open tuck turn. For leaders, we're then going to step, step, windmill. Sorry, that's the wrong way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, and then for followers, we're doing our typical tuck turn footwork, which is a rock, step, triple, triple, and 1-footed turn.
Boom.
And we want to be spotting our partners, or if you're feeling very balanced, you can also trace your head along with the rainbow.
Yeah. And notice that this is sort of dropping onto a foot, though it's the left foot in this context. And also there's a little bit of a down, up, down here. And we talked about how you can really make that big or small. You can do this the sort of subtle way where it is very in line with almost just a little tiny thing. Or we can go, whoo, and make it a very big level change. Both of those are a cool feeling.
Yep.
Play around with them.
Great. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.